The Pakistan governors announced a national emergency on the 26th of August 2022 and requested worldwide aid. Hello and welcome back to our channel. We're back with a very serious topic, and that is Pakistan's collapse is far worse than you think. Bankrupt due to flood. Watch this video till the end. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Since mid-June, Pakistan has seen torrential rains that have led to landslides and flash floods that have affected millions of people nationwide, caused extensive damage, and claimed many lives. Floodwaters have flooded about a third of the nation, wrecked thousands of miles of roads, railway tracks, and bridges, washed away harvests, and demolished more than 1.7 million houses and other structures. The flood has also had an impact on household food security, primarily as a result of the destruction of food supplies. In Pakistan, the extreme floods brought on by the rainy season have wreaked unprecedented levels of destruction, including seriously harming both the direct and indirect national economy. Particularly heavily damaged has been the agricultural industry. The floods have severely damaged Pakistan's agricultural industry, endangering both the country's food security and that of the nations who buy its agricultural products. Large rice fields were also destroyed by the soon arrival of a dry season full of heat, followed by flash floods, which means that rice production will also decline. The current issue with food security is exacerbated by the 2.6 billion tons of wheat that Pakistan already lacks. The world's cotton supply could be impacted by flood damage since Pakistan is the world's fifth largest cotton producer and supplies 5% of global demand. Tens of millions of individuals are currently homeless, a third of this enormous nation is underwater, and all of the country's livestock as well as crops are wiped off according to the United Nations. In a study released on September 9, 2022, the UN stated that the destroying floods in the country also affected the schooling of approximately 3.5 million youngsters. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif accompanied Guterres when he traveled to Sindh province in the nation's southeast to see the worst affected areas. The following evening, his trip came to a conclusion in Karachi, when he and Zardari gave a joint press conference at the airport. I have witnessed numerous humanitarian catastrophes around the globe, but this level of climatic devastation is unprecedented. At the conclusion of his visit, Guterres said to reporters, "I have no words to express what I've witnessed today, a flooded space that is thrice the total area of my nation, Portugal." Observers claim that there was negligence from the authorities of the government that failed to implement safety precautions in time despite warnings of significantly higher than expected rainfall as a result of climate change. Data from the NDMA and other aid organizations show that the recent floods in Pakistan have affected at least 33 million people, with one-third of the nation still underwater. There have been more than 1,390 fatalities, which includes a minimum of 458 children and more than 12,000 injuries. Additionally, according to the NDMA, the flooding has caused the deaths of more than 727,000 cattle, which has resulted in a lack of meat, milk, and other essential items. Millions of Pakistanis depend on their livestock for domestic eatables and nutrition requirements, as well as a secondary source of revenue. In a nation where about 8 million rural families grow cattle and who depend on livestock for 35 to 40% of their income last year, the losses of livestock have affected the lives of millions of people. Following the floods, 62% of Pakistani families lack the funds to purchase food. The Pakistani armed forces have also begun large-scale activities to aid those affected by the disaster along with civic institutions. According to Uzair Yunus, a recognized authority on estimating political and economic development, total losses estimated at $16 billion could reach $30 billion, or nearly 10% of the country's GDP. Pakistan's continuous floods have destroyed 1.74 million dwellings, either entirely or partially. According to Yunus, 1.5 million of these residences, or more than 85% of the total, are thought to be located in Sindh. According to him, Baluchistan will need an additional $145 million. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa will need over $250 million, Punjab close to $163 million, and Sindh will need approximately $4 billion merely to restore its housing stock. According to Kugelman, Pakistan requires ongoing assistance to learn how to adapt to climate change. The loss of standing crops, cattle, and minimal agricultural infrastructure will undoubtedly affect the development and economic growth of the nation, he continued. Let us all pray for Pakistan and its economy. Tell us in the comments, how can a country prevent such disasters? Do share this video with more people to spread awareness. Thank you.